Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So we're back with a really fun Vayne supplementary guide, and we're going to be talking about Tank Vayne. Now you guys will be thinking, what is going on here? Why Tank Vayne? Well, basically, as you'll see from the gameplay later, this is Tank Vayne top. So I don't really recommend you playing this if you're playing it in the ADC role, because you're going to lack a lot of damage, but in the top lane role, this is actually going to be really good. And I'm going to show you guys why in the gameplay later, and we're going to talk more about why go for Tank Vayne later on. So first up, we're going to start with the build. So despite the fact that we're Tank Vayne, of course we need some attack speed, we need some damage at the beginning. So we're going to start off with our Gluttonous Greaves. This is going to give you the starting AD as well as the Omnivamp. And then we're going to go into Bork. Now Bork is of course going to give you the attack speed, which is the most important part, the AD. You're going to get some physical vamp as well, which is going to help a lot with your sustain. And normally when you're playing Vayne, you're normally playing it into a melee matchup. We're not doing that in the gameplay later, but normally you're into a melee matchup. So normally the Drain passive and the Ruin Strikes passive are going to be really good because, of course, with the Ruin Strikes passive, you will be able to more easily shred tanks. And then we are going for Wits End next. This is going to give you the magic resist and the attack speed, and are also going to get on-hit magic damage as well as healing when you're below half health. So technically speaking, although Wits End is a attack speed item, the tankiness has already begun with the magic resist. 50 magic resist here. Now 50 magic resist, nothing to scoff at. It's like basically as much as an actual defense item. And then we're going to go into Heartsteel. Now, this is where it gets funky, because you guys might be thinking, why Heartsteel third item? Like, you're not going to be able to stack it up, you know, all that much. The answer is, well, yes, but 700 HP itself is already insane for a champion like Vayne. Like, you think about it, ADCs have like 1000 plus HP. So, like, 700 HP just from Heartsteel itself is already gonna technically give you, like, 1.5 times of your maximum HP. So, you're gonna increase by your HP by like 50% or so. And of course, when you are actually able to proc the passive, you're gonna gain more and more health, and you're gonna get more and more tanky. So this is when we're going to go into Twin Guard, because now we have a lot of health, now we need the defenses. So here we're going to get 60 armor and magic resist, and of course when we proc the passive, we're going to get an extra 20% size, which is not really what we want, but hey, no choice. We're going to get 20% tenacity, which is great, and an additional 30% MR and armor. So the MR is going to stack with the 60 MR here and the 50 MR here, so we're going to basically be impossible to one-shot by mages. And the extra armor on here is also going to be really, really good. And then finally, as our last item, I like to get GA for the revive. Now, you don't always have to go for GA. Some matches, GA is not really worth it, just because you don't really need a revive because you're not dying anyway. So you could go for even tankier. And what options do you have? Well, you could go for something like a Randuin's Omen if you're playing into a team that has a lot of crit. You could go for something like an Iceborne Gauntlet, which is going to give you some damage as well as some tankiness. Or you could just opt in for some damage last item. So you could go for something like Triforce, or something like Bloodthirster is the last item to just get some pure damage, because you are kind of a little bit lacking in damage because you only got a few damage items at the beginning, and you don't really even have that much AD. You like literally have like 20 AD from here and like 35 AD from here. Like, your boots is the item that gives you the most AD out of all of your items, which is kind of insane if you think about it. So for the runes, you want to go for Lethal Tempo for the attack speed, because you want to of course attack people really quickly, proc your on-hit items, and of course you know, just proc your silver bolts more often. Then Brutal, of course, because you still auto-attack a lot, you're still an ADC. Giant Slayer, because generally you're going to be playing Vayne against tanks, so this is going to help you shred them down. Alacrity for the attack speed to attack even faster. And lastly, you can go for Overgrowth to get more health, which is going to help you to do more damage with Heartsteel and make you tankier as well. Of course, Bone Plating is always an option as well, because this will of course allow you to block damage both in lane as well as in the later stages of the game against combos. And finally, for the spells, you want to go for Flash and pretty much Ghost every single game, because with the Ghost you can, you know, kite in and out of fights, chase people down and whatnot. So anyways, with all that said, let's now hop into our gameplay. Alright, so now we're hopping into our gameplay. Now first things first, we're going to cover talking about Vayne top. Now honestly, you can kind of play tank Vayne top in any matchup, and I'm going to explain why. Now, honestly, Vayne top, whenever you pick it, is never going to be good for your team comp, because normally the top laner, you want to have a fighter or a tank. So Vayne is neither a fighter nor a tank, she's an ADC. So you want to, you know, I mean, you're building tanks here, you're kind of going to become a fighter later on, but for now you aren't really. But the first thing you always want to do on Vayne top is you want to always go to this bush and you always want to attack people level 1. Because most of the time when you're playing against a melee matchup, you're always going to be able to bully. Now, Akali is a scary matchup because she is an assassin. However, she is still melee. So at level 1, she can't really do much. You can see I took like 1/3 of her health here. And this is basically the name of the game when you're playing Vayne. The only time you don't want to do this is if you're playing either against a ranged top laner or you're playing against a champion like Jace or Teemo that will out-trade you level 1. Teemo because of his blind and Jace because he has like 2 abilities at level 1 and he's gonna, of course, you know, get a very good trade on you at the start of the game. Now, I can't really think of anyone else off the top of my head except for, of course, the ADC top laners. But if you're playing against a melee top laner, you should pretty much do this every single matchup, which is like majority of top laners. So, back to the point about like team comp and when to pick Vayne. Well, basically, if you're playing Vayne against a like very tanky team, of course that is good and that works. But since you're building tank anyway, you're not going to be doing that much damage anyway. You're sort of going to mix damage as well as tankiness with this build. So even if you're playing against like a team of squishies like I am in this matchup, Vayne top is still fine. Now honestly, there are a lot of better picks than Vayne top, but honestly, I'm playing Vayne top because I can't really play top laners. Like, I'm pretty horrible at top lane, so if I get autofilled to top lane like this, Vayne top is probably going to be my go-to kind of champ. And since I don't want to completely ruin my team comp by going for like a full damage Vayne, I'm going for this tank Vayne build so that at least I can provide some kind of tankiness. And you will be surprised that with this Vayne build, you're actually surprisingly tanky. I mean, you can see it in the stats at the end as well, but you are surprisingly tanky and you still do a very decent amount of damage. So honestly, you're kind of making Vayne into a pseudo fighter with this build. Like, you're kind of a semi-fighter because you get tanky, you get a lot of lifesteal, and you know, it's hard to kill you. So you'll see how it works later on in the gameplay, but for the start of the gameplay, you know, Vayne is still really weak at the early game. But although one of the strengths of Vayne top is the fact that you can actually bully people in the early game, although it's a bit hard to bully Akali because if she lands a shuriken on you, she can get in a very good trade. So here Akali has actually roamed into the river and I decided not to follow her, and the reason is if I just blindly follow her, she can engage on me in the river and she might be able to kill me, especially because she's level 5. So here I want to be really cautious. I want to try to dodge the shuriken, you know, at all costs. If I get hit by the shuriken, I'm going to get full combo. She's going to come in with her E and then like Q ult me or something like that, and I'm going to be in trouble. So I don't really want that. Although, despite the fact that I have to play safe against that, I don't want to give her a free lane. So you can see I'm still walking up to harass her, and I'm still building up a slow push so that if she engages on me, she's going to tank a lot of minion damage in the early game, which is of course, you know, where we are at now. So here you can see I'm slowly like last hitting here. So I have a like double stacked wave now. So if she engages onto me, she's going to take a lot of damage, and I'll probably I'll probably win the trade. So here I see I saw Evelyn because of the control ward I put in the river, so I'm just running straight back to my tower. A small detail that I didn't really mention at the start is I took the normal ward and I actually warded the bush, but on my first back I changed to control ward because there's an Evelyn in the game. A really underrated thing that people don't really do is to take control ward against Evelyn. Another thing that people don't really do is what I did right there, which is to pull the minions to make sure it freezes outside of the tower. So what happened there is those two minions would have walked into the tower and died, which would make the wave reset to the center. But what I did there is tank like 2 or 3 minion auto attacks and let the wave collide outside my tower, so I can start to build another slow push and also at the same time freeze the wave here as well. But simply because of the fact that she's not attacking the minions, it's gonna slowly push towards her side as my minions start to stack up, which is then gonna give her the same problem again, which is really hard for her to go in on me when there are so many minions. Now speaking of which, she comes in, she has the electrocute, I condemn her into the wall, and here I'm trying to outplay her. Honestly, I kind of messed that up a little bit. I knew my Vi was there, so I knew that, you know, she could help me out if she was paying attention, so that kind of did work out in that sense. But as you guys saw there, the intention was I was trying to flash onto the fruit, but I ended up flashing over the fruit, which of course doesn't really help the situation. So although I mechanically misplayed there, we still, you know, get the positive result because we are still, you know, playing when the Vi is there. She probably is pretty pissed off because she thinks that she should have gotten the kill there, but the only reason I survived is because of the Vi. Now honestly, she didn't even play it that well because she art through me, which allowed me to condemn her into the wall and get off a lot of free damage, and then allowed me to run away afterwards. So she didn't really play it that well, but neither did I. So honestly, we both kind of played bad there. So yeah. So here, I'm changing network because I'm lagging a little bit. This is a problem I'm kind of having lately. Like, I can see in my past couple of videos, like the Pike video, like I think one of the Lucian videos as well. Like, I just randomly start lagging out and I have to change to a different Wi-Fi network to sort of resolve the issue. Or rather, I'm changing from Wi-Fi to mobile data or from mobile data to Wi-Fi. Like, you know, both of them have problems from time to time, so I'm just kind of swapping around here and there, you know, to try to put myself in the best position to, you know, not lag out and to actually be able to play the game. So here I'm trying to get a tower plate, which I do. 150 gold into the bank. Akali is at the mid lane, so here I'm just focusing the tower. Another tower plate for me. Akali actually goes down to Veigar, so it looks like I can get even more tower plates. Now, the 300 gold I got from tower plates at this point is already more than, you know, a kill at this point. So by roaming mid, she's given me a lot of free time to farm tower plates. I'm getting another one, so 450 gold into the bank in total, and now it's time to leave. You don't want to overgreed for tower plate. She hasn't even revived yet, but you know, we're actually going to back here. Now, honestly, we could have cleared this wave to push the wave all the way into tower, because now the wave is kind of awkwardly frozen outside her tower, which is pretty horrible for us. So honestly, we should have just pushed in that wave there since she just revived, and she would take some time to walk back to the lane. But here I'm able to actually reset, pick up the Bork, and I, of course, already have my Gluttonous Greaves. So here I'm going to, of course, be sure to maintain the control ward vision to ensure Evelyn doesn't come up with any sneaky surprises. So now here she's having a little bit of a stacked wave, so I can't really play too aggressively, otherwise I'm going to take too much minion aggro. So here I'm just trying to thin out the wave by auto-attacking it a little bit. She looks like she wants to go in on me. I'm just going to tumble away to prevent anything like that from happening. And she did use her Shroud cooldown already, so that's a key cooldown that's missing. She goes in with the E onto the minions. Evelyn is now here, so I'm in a sticky situation here. Despite Evelyn's W expiring, I know I'm going to get dived here because there's like 3 people here. I condemn her into the wall and I get off a good amount of damage. She lands the E though, which allows her to get off the electrocute. I flash a little bit too slow. Evelyn ults and she ults as well, and I do end up going down. Now honestly, once again, I played that alright by condemning her into the wall and all that, but I could have played better. Like, if I didn't get hit by her E or her ult, I actually would have survived. Because if she didn't hit her E, she wouldn't have gotten the electrocute. And even though you know, she hit her E, when she hit her E, she went in with the E and then Q auto attack. So if I had flashed before the auto attack or before the Q, I wouldn't have gotten hit by the electrocute, and again I would have survived. So honestly, there's a good 3 opportunities there that I could have played better and survived, but I did not. So, you know, could have been better, but it's not the worst. So, but however, there's a huge overstay from the Evelyn trying to counter jungle, and Vi gets a free kill on her. So far, I've only been getting the assist, and Vi has been getting the kills, which honestly is really annoying because Vi is not really a champion that scales very well into the late game, whereas Vayne is. So honestly, like, if I were the Vi, especially because like Vi is at 8k gold now, she's 3k gold ahead of the Evelyn, I would be giving the kills to me, to Veigar, or to Caitlyn. So here again, she tries to go in, I condemn her into the wall again, and I'm actually able to get the kill. However, I will die to the ignite. So overall, a 1-for-1 trade, but this time I actually think I played it alright, because honestly, not too much better I could have done there. Yeah. But yeah, so Vi, even if she goes tank, or even if she goes like full damage lethality, she still doesn't scale well. So she's already like 5-1. Like, she should be giving kills to her 2 ADCs or her mage, because we really need to get kills to kind of scale up. Whereas like kills on Vi are really not that helpful at this point in the game, because she's already fed enough that she doesn't need any more kills. So here, see, like, Vi is going in. You know, thankfully Veigar gets the kill here. Although I really don't think Vi would have hesitated to KS them all right there. But yeah, Vi really should not be taking any more kills. Sometimes, you know, if you're playing the game, you have to be a bit smart about where your goal goes to, and, you know, where your kills goes to. Obviously, because of the fact that I normally play ADC, the kills I normally want the kills, because ADCs always scale very well. But especially when you're playing a more supportive role like jungle or support, or even sometimes when you're playing like mid lane, like if you're playing like a TF or whatnot, you want your team to get kills. You don't want to get kills personally, because if that's the case, you're not going to be winning the game. So yeah. So anyways, here Akali is roaming and Swain is roaming as well. So I'm following the roam. There's clearly going to be a fight that might happen in the top lane, because Dragon has spawned and everyone is pretty much here. Akali is going in onto Swain, and I'm trying to focus down the Akali with Vi ulting her. She's really low. Vi finishes off and takes the kill again. So it's again really annoying. Like, Vi doesn't need any more kills. Like, she's just taking kills left and right, and she doesn't need it. And, you know, it's to her own detriment, because if she gets all the kills, you know, we can't get the kills and we can't carry. So anyways, here we're going in with the ulti onto the Pantheon, chain CC with the Condemn onto the Veigar Cage. Vi thankfully does not get the kill on this one. And here I'm 1v1ing the Yasuo. Vi is coming in, and again Vi gets another kill, which is really annoying at this point. I'm struggling to get kills, obviously, as the Vayne, but I'm 2-2 and 5, still alright. But really, you know, would have been a lot better if I got a little bit more kills. Like this Vi just taking all the kills is no good, you know, for the team. Despite that, I still have more gold than the entire enemy team, so not too bad. And nothing can do control ward. Evelyn puts the heart on you, plop down that control ward. You can see where she's coming from, because sometimes she actually goes and flanks behind you. So if you don't control ward, you might run straight into her. So control ward plays down in this case, actually scares her off, and she doesn't really, you know, want to mess with us when we can see her. So yeah, so here Akali gets a 1-for-1 trade with the Vi, and she gets the huge shutdown because Vi has been taking all the kills, and now Akali is getting fed. Here Yasuo can obviously see me, so there must be like a ward there or something. Zeri for some reason hops the wall against a Vayne, so me and Veigar just chain CC her, and Veigar gets the shutdown with the electrocute. So here Yasuo goes in with the ulti. I'm, you know, taking a lot of damage, but with the Veigar Cage, you know, he can't escape. I'm just free firing on him because there's no way that he can actually go. And here Pantheon goes in. I'm gonna condemn him back into the tower, although doing that nearly killed the Veigar, but you know, we are able to pick up the kill on him. Evelyn face checks directly into us, has to ult out of the way, and we're gonna actually grab the fruit here to remain healthy. Swain is now inside the enemy jungle. I'm gonna start doing the blue buff. Now Evelyn could come here to contest, but she would put herself at risk. Here she is. We're actually able to pick up the blue buff to deny the Evelyn. Honestly, it would be better to give it to Swain, but we don't want to risk Evelyn getting it by accident, so it's better that someone gets it than no one gets it on my team. So we are going to do just that, and now we're going to go to mid and start clearing the wave. Despite the fact that we've not able to get too much kills, we are still able to get a lot of farm. We have been farming pretty well throughout the game. So here Caitlyn's walking to the opposite direction, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up this red buff here. You can see that I already have my first two items of Borg and Wit's End, and in this case Wit's End is a really good item because it helps against the Akali and the Evelyn especially, but also helps to a small extent against Zeri, because Zeri does do some magic damage as well. So really good buy in this matchup, a lot more value, and later if we get to Twin Guard, you know, we're going to be really hard to kill against, you know, for the both of them. So here nothing too much is going on. I'm just going to farm the jungle and you know, try to keep up my gold. I can see Zeri and Akali are really fed as well, so we want to really accelerate ourselves in gold, try to stay ahead of the curve here. Yasuo has been trying to consistently split push in the bot lane, so we are trying to put a stop to him. Now honestly at this point, 1v1ing a Yasuo is still a little bit dangerous because we're not too tanky yet, but when we get Heartsteel, you know, there is going to be a situation where we can actually 1v1 a Yasuo, provided we're not too close to a minion wave for him to just dash around with. So here we're back. Now we have the entire hut still completed. So now you can kind of see how the tank Vayne is going to work. We're going to be real tanky. Our team gets into a huge fight in the mid lane. I'm pinging that I'm on my way, but my team is kind of dying already. Vi goes down. Swain is really low. He looks like he's about to go down soon, but he's living on 1 HP. And fight kind of does break out here. So I'm going to try to focus the Zeri. I do get the kill on her. I'm going to try to focus the Evelyn. I get charmed in, but you can see the tankiness, and I am able to get the double kill off of the red buff bird. And yeah, I'm just lifestealing off of these wolves. I don't care about doing the wolves too much, but I'm just trying to use them to lifesteal back a little bit. So instantly, just based off of that first fight, you can instantly see the tankiness you can get from the Heartsteel. Just because of 700 max HP, that's completely insane how much max HP that is. And now we're just, you know, stealing the entire enemy jungle, which is of course what you should be doing, you know, whenever you get kills and whenever you get the chance to. So we clear the enemy jungle, we clear out the minions as well. We're just clearing everything, maintaining our farm at the same time, ensuring the enemy team doesn't get any. So here we're going to run away early without getting the last minion, because Yasuo can just dash through all the minions on top of us. And although I did say we can 1v1 him when we get Heartsteel, we don't know where his team is. So we don't want to think we're in a 1v1, but actually we're in a 1v2 or a 1v3. So we are going to just play safe and back off. In the meantime, our team is picking up the dragon. Vi secures it. And we reset, buying the components for Twin Guard, and then we're going to head back out into the lane and see what we can do about it. So here we spot Zeri on the opposite side of the map. So now we're pinging for Baron, because the main point of damage of the enemy team, the DPS, is gone. Yasuo is kind of feeding, Evelyn's kind of feeding, Akali is doing alright actually, so Akali is pretty scary. We don't really care too much about majority of the enemy team. We're just gonna basically sneak a Baron here. The enemy team did not notice anything was happening, and now we're trying to run down Akali. So if Vi manages to CC here, we can definitely get her. I'm gonna actually pop the Ghost to try to catch up. Right here. So here I'm gonna focus on the Akali. We get the kill onto Akali. I'm gonna pop the ult and try to continue chasing. Wind Wall comes in. I'm not gonna waste my time attacking the Wind Wall. I'm trying to go all the way behind and see who I can focus down. I tank a tower shot, but you can see that from the Heartsteel, like that tower shot barely did any damage to me. That's how tanky the tank Vayne actually is. So here, I'm just free firing in the backline. Yasuo gets an ult onto me, but you can see it doesn't even do damage. I condemn the Yasuo into hit the wall. I kill him. Vi gets the ulti down. I'm gonna finish off the Zeri. I tank a tower shot. Now it's starting to do some work because that's the base tower. Pantheon tries to go for the stun onto the Vi. I'm gonna get the kill on him, and Evelyn is able to finish me off with the red buff. After she popped the ulti, I didn't die for like half a second. I'm like, oh, I'm alive, but then the red buff comes in and I do end up dying. But in trade, the whole enemy team dies. Akali now coming in to try to save the game. Isn't really keen to the combos and ends up getting one shot by the Veigar. He could have killed the Vi and the Swain if she played it properly, but unfortunately she did not play it properly. So instead, we're gonna be the ones ending the game right here. So you can see how tank Vayne does work and is really good, and you can compare my damage to the Caitlyn in the stats here, and I did way more than her despite the fact I was building tank. Speaking of which, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.